visit my brother Luigi now to tell you a whole heap of a spaghetti pile of information. Hello, Mario.
Hey, welcome back, everybody. I just recently saw the Super Mario Bros. Movie. Let me say, I enjoyed it. Now, I really wasn't anticipating disliking this film. I've been pretty excited ever since the cast was released last year, and just the first trailer, this movie looked pretty good, and the marketing was really solid. I've been pretty impressed by the recent things coming out by Illumination, because it used to be the animation company that pushed quantity over quality, and it was abundantly clear in a lot of their films. But I will say, Mario is a solid exception to Illumination's track record. It's a fun movie with solid characters and pretty impressive pacing throughout the whole thing. There's just a lot going on in this movie, and I kind of thought that certain things were going to get lost in the cracks of different plot lines, but it actually played out very nicely. And as a fan of the Mario games and Mario in general, I think the characters were represented very well, and so was the world in general. It's very clear that people who actually give a shit about this game series worked on this movie, because it's riddled with Easter eggs and just little things that you could point out and have fun with. I personally love how much Mario music was sprinkled throughout the entire film. Whether it was scoring a scene or it was just some random Easter egg because it was somebody's ringtone or characters playing a song, it was just really cool to hear. And like I said, I think all the characters were portrayed very nicely. Chris Pratt as Mario isn't a big problem to me. If I'm gonna be honest, I kind of forgot that he was playing Mario throughout most of the movie. I'm aware that he sounds nothing like Mario ever would. I don't really care too much about that. I wasn't somebody who was upset about him being casted as Mario way back when. I was confused like everybody else, but I didn't really, care. I just kind of figured that since this guy's done voice acting work before, he wasn't gonna do a terrible job here. And honestly, you don't really remember that Chris Pratt's playing him. Almost anybody could have had that role. I'm not entirely sure why Chris Pratt voice acted for Mario in this movie. I'm not entirely sure why the head of casting decided to pick him. I'm not upset by it, but he also doesn't really add anything to the role. It literally could have been any random voice they decided to pick. But as a character, he was pretty fun to watch on screen. It was just, Mario. In my opinion, that's pretty hard to fuck up. I actually really like the character choice in this movie to have Luigi be the damsel in distress and not Princess Peach. I think it makes a lot more sense for Mario to be going after Bowser to save his brother and not to get with this random woman he's never met. It also makes his intentions better. Because he's not, kissing a child. It also gives room for Peach to be a goddamn badass, and she is one of the coolest characters in this film. I'm really glad Peach got to be a unique character, not just the trapped princess in a castle. She doesn't really get to do much in, any of the games, and almost has zero characterization from what I can tell. So I like that in this film, she got to be her own person and not just random damsel in distress. However, with that really cool character change for Peach, Luigi gets heavily drafted in this movie, and I kinda wish we got to see more of him. The voiceover work was done by Charlie Day, and, I love Charlie Day. So I just kind of wish I got to hear more of them. I will say though, once Luigi and Mario were on screen kicking ass together, it was really cool to see them together, and it's kind of funny that in the Super Mario Brothers movie, we don't really get to see them together again until the very end of the film. Now let's talk about the star of the show. And no, ladies and gentlemen, that is not Mario, it's Bowser. Bowser is by far my favorite character on screen in this movie. Jack Black does an excellent voice for the character and plays him so fucking well. He's just so evil, and they really lay into that in this movie in the most cartoonish way possible. And he's not so cartoonishly evil that he's not threatening. He's cartoonishly evil and incredibly threatening. This guy decided that for his wedding, he was going to do a ceremonial execution of every single prisoner he had by lowering them slowly into a massive pit of lava. It was incredibly fucked up. And that was him being nice. That was him being chill as fuck and deciding that he wasn't going to destroy the Mushroom Kingdom because now Peach was going to marry him. And I also know that by now everybody has heard that goddamn Peaches song. I know for a fact they were not expecting him to go as hard as he did for that small little bit in this movie. But knowing Jack Black, it makes perfect fucking sense that he went all out for this small little song. The shit's still stuck in my head. The supporting cast was also all super great. I loved seeing little Easter eggs with random characters popping up. I loved the inclusion of some of the Kong characters. That was fun as hell too. Cranky Kong was a stupidly fun character, and I like that Seth Rogen got to play Donkey Kong. I'll be real with you guys, I like when Seth Rogen plays animated characters because I know damn well they're gonna force a little Seth Rogen laugh in there, and I'm gonna laugh at the stupidity of that. I love seeing Donkey Kong Seth Rogen laugh. It's stupid as shit, and it's my favorite thing. I find with a lot of kids animated films that come out these days that are based more off of quantity over quality, that they have a lot of random humor that's not funny at all and almost just feels like it's reaching so goddamn hard that it misses the mark entirely. And I will happily say that this movie didn't really do that. They probably had a few jokes here and there that were stupid, but overall the comedy was genuine and was not bad by any means. I really don't see people having many issues with this movie. Illumination and Nintendo played it pretty safe for the opening movie in their small Mario franchise, and if they want to spawn sequels off of this animated film, it makes perfect sense, and I don't think it would go bad at all. I'm excited to see what they have in mind. As a pretty average Mario fan, this movie was able to reach my expectations, and like I said, was a little bit better than I thought it would be. The only thing I can really think that could get on people's nerves is the licensed music. I know some people aren't a huge fan of licensed music being in films and TV. In this movie, it kind of felt like they were trying to get any popular song they could, and I don't really have an issue with it. Honestly, it's fine, and I happen to like all the songs they picked, so I don't really care all that much. It's not like they lasted super long, it's just very obvious that they wanted certain scenes to have certain songs. But it's really not something I saw as a huge problem. Other than the story being good and the characters being pretty good, I also think the animation was solid as hell. Honestly, this movie looks beautiful. Probably some of the best animated work Illumination has ever put out. They usually don't care about how their movies look, and I think that's also abundantly obvious, so when this movie looked as good as it did, I was genuinely surprised. The animation's super impressive, and it follows the way everything looks in these games so well. Like, it's so cool to see all of this on the big screen. My least favorite part of the movie was probably just when the characters were in New York. Now, gladly our characters are not home long at all and almost immediately get transported to the Mushroom Kingdom and Bowser's Castle, so it's not really a huge complaint or anything to worry about. But when they're back in New York, it kind of just feels like Mario and Luigi are in some random ass Illumination film. Almost like they ran into a bunch of extras from the background of Despicable Me and just had random conversations with them before getting transported to the magical world of Mario. Overall, I'm gonna give Super Mario Bros. The movie a 7 out of 10. This movie's solid. I really don't have many issues with it, and it's not out of the box crazy good. It's just pretty good. I enjoyed my time, and I could see myself watching that again throughout the rest of my life. If you like this video, please consider subscribing. I have other movie and TV show reviews in a playlist, so check the description out for that. And as always, like, comment, and save an orbit now. Goodbye, guys.